Palm Bay, Florida is known for its affordability, sunshine, and space to grow. But lately, I've been hearing the same question pop up more and more. So just why are people leaving Palm Bay? Is it the rise in home prices? Is it the schools? Or something else entirely? Today, we're going to be diving into the real reasons some families and individuals are packing up and leaving Palm Bay. And we'll touch on whether it's a sign of something bigger or just part of the city's growing pains. Now, one of the biggest reasons people move to Palm Bay in the first place, that sweet spot of low cost and living with Florida vibes. Back in the day, you could get a decent sized house close to the beach without completely draining your bank account. But here's the truth. Over the past few years, that's really started to change. Since the pandemic, home prices have shot up. And it's not just the prices, the competition too. Bidding wars, cash buyers, and out-of-state investors have all driven up demand. Oh yeah, and rent's gone up too. Some people who were paying $1,200 a month for a 3-bedroom are now being quoted at $1,800 or more for the same exact place. And don't even get me started with property insurance. That's a Florida-wide issue, and Palm Bay has not been spared. Some homeowners are seeing their premiums double, or worse, getting dropped and scrambling to find new coverage altogether. Then you got your everyday stuff. Groceries, gas, eating out, it all simply adds up. A gallon of milk that used to cost $3 is now pushing $5. A basic dinner for a family of 4 at a casual restaurant, easily $70 to $80 every time we go to eat. Now, to be fair, Palm Bay is still more affordable than Miami, Orlando, or even parts of Melbourne. That is true. But if you're like me and you've been living here for a while, or you're on a fixed income, you definitely feel the squeeze. So while Palm Bay used to feel like this hidden gem of affordability, that gap is getting smaller. And for some folks, it's forcing them to rethink if this is still the right place to call home. Palm Bay is one of the fastest growing cities in Brevard County. There's no doubt about that. New homes are going up left and right, especially in the southwest and northwest parts of the town. But here's the thing, the infrastructure, it hasn't quite kept up with the growth. I hear this all the time from the locals, and honestly, I've seen it myself. You've got potholes that feel like craters, roads that haven't been resurfaced in years, and traffic that gets super congested in certain areas like Malabar Road, Babcock, and Emerson during peak hours. Then there's the lack of sidewalks in a lot of residential neighborhoods, which can tend to be a real safety issue, especially for kids walking to school or people just simply trying to get some exercise. And if you're relying on public transportation, it's pretty limited. Palm Bay is a car-dependent city. There's no way around that as of right now. Now, to be fair, the city is working on it. They've got road widening projects, drainage improvements, and long-term plans in the works right now as we speak. But honestly, it's a race against time. Development is moving fast, and infrastructure is kind of playing catch up right now. For some folks, especially those relocating from more built out cities, that can be frustrating. The daily wear and tear on your car, the time stuck in traffic, it all adds up. And it's one of the reasons a few residents have started looking for homes in areas that are a bit more established or better planned out. Now, let's talk about the schools, because if you've got kids, this is probably one of the biggest things on your mind right now. Palm Bay's school system is, honestly, a bit of a mixed bag. There are some solid schools here, and I've met plenty of families who are happy with their kids' schools and teachers and experiences overall. But for the most part, some parents are a bit concerned, and I get it. A few of the common issues people bring up are overcrowded classrooms, limited resources, and in some cases, lower academic performance compared to other districts. Staffing also has been a challenge. Like a lot of places in Florida, we've seen teacher shortages, and that can lead to bigger class sizes and less individual attention for students. Now, this doesn't mean Palm Bay is some kind of educational wasteland. Far from it. There are schools here doing great things with what they've got, but it really depends on the zone you're in. Some neighborhoods are zoned for higher rated schools, others not so much. So what ends up happening? A lot of families either try to school choice into a better district, they go the private school route, or they can just swing it. They move to areas with a more consistent track record of education, even if that means paying more for a home or commuting time, or commuting further. It's not always an easy decision, but for parents, it's one of those non-negotiables. And it's a big reason why some folks have decided to leave Palm Bay or simply not move here in the first place. Now, if you're the type who loves nightlife, rooftop bars, or those Instagrammable brunch spots, Palm Bay might feel a little too quiet for your taste. Now, there's definitely some good food here, don't get me wrong. You got your local mom and pop spots, some solid Latin food, a few good sushi and pizza places, and of course, your go-to chains. But if you're craving variety, or a constantly changing food scene, you might feel like you're running out of options faster than you'd like. Same goes for entertainment. There are some great parks, nature trails, and family-friendly things to do. You got fishing, kayaking, community events, that sort of thing. But if you're used to live music every single weekend, art galleries, comedy shows, or spontaneous nights out in a buzzing downtown, well, Palm Bay is not really that kind of place. Now, if you're someone who enjoys the peace and quiet, the lack of traffic, the slow rhythm, you might love it here. But for others, especially younger professionals or people relocating from bigger cities, it can feel a bit like a sleepy town. Unless you're cool with driving 25 to 30 minutes to Melbourne or even Orlando for a night out or something new, there's a chance you'll get a little stir crazy after a while, especially if you're someone who thrives in the city environment. All right, let's talk about jobs. Palm Bay isn't exactly a career hotspot. You're not going to find skyscrapers full of corporate offices or a booming downtown job scene. It's just not that kind of city. Now, to be fair, there are opportunities here, especially in fields like tech, aerospace, and healthcare. Companies like L3 Harris, Northrop Grumman, and Health First offer solid careers. But a lot of that action is actually over in Melbourne. So unless you live on that side of town, you're probably most likely going to commute. If you can work from home or run your own online business, Palm Bay can be a great setup. Low overhead, peaceful environment, and a decent space to work. But if you're in retail, hospitality, construction, or anything that needs you to show up in person, the local job market might be a little limited for you. The pay might not always match the rising cost of living, and that's pushing some people to look elsewhere. And of course, we can't talk about living in Florida without bringing up the weather. It's kind of a package deal. Palm Bay gets a ton of sunshine, yeah, but it also comes with intense heat and humidity, especially in the summer. I'm talking sticky clothes, AC cranked 24/7, and stepping outside sometimes feels like walking into a sauna. And then there's hurricane season. It runs from June to November. And while not every storm hits us directly, the risk is always there. Flooding, wind damage, and some power outage. Some neighborhoods are more vulnerable than others, especially the lower lying areas. Now here's where it really hits homeowners: insurance. In the past few years, we've seen crazy spikes in premiums. Some companies are raising rates, others are just straight up pulling out of Florida altogether, especially if you've got an older home or you live near a flood zone. You might be looking at thousands more per year just to stay covered. I've had some clients tell me their insurance doubled, even tripled from one year to the next. And for some families, that's just not sustainable. So yeah, palm trees are great, but you gotta budget for the stormy side of paradise as well. All right, let's pump the brakes for a second. Not everyone is leaving Palm Bay. Actually, according to the most recent data, Palm Bay's population is still trending upwards. New neighborhoods are going up, builders are active, and folks from up north, especially New York, New Jersey, and even California, are still making the move here. Why? Because despite its growing pains, Palm Bay still offers a lot that bigger cities can't, which includes more space, lower property taxes, warmer weather year-round, and let's be honest, no snow to shovel. So for every person frustrated by the rising costs or the traffic, there's someone else who just sold their home up north for double the price and is loving what they can get down here. So it's not just about why are people leaving. The better question might be, is Palm Bay simply evolving? Is it growing into a different version of itself? One that may not be for everyone, but is still super appealing to the right kind of buyer? The real estate landscape is shifting here. Some longtime locals feel like it's becoming too overcrowded or too expensive. Others see opportunity, they see growth, investment potential, and the chance to get in before prices rise even more. So you've got to ask yourself, does this new version of Palm Bay fit your lifestyle, your goals, and your budget? That's what it really comes down to. Palm Bay isn't perfect, but no city is. It's growing, evolving, and facing some real challenges right now. But it's also full of opportunity, especially if you know what you're getting yourself into. If you're thinking about moving to or leaving Palm Bay, I'd love to help you make the most informed decision possible. I work with buyers and sellers every single day, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop. Just simply call the number on the screen here, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Oh yeah, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. And I gotta ask you, are you thinking about leaving Palm Bay, or are you planning to stay? Let's talk about it. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.